29th of December 2020. I was on a phone call with my coach, restless, avoiding a task that felt heavier than paper could carry. It was the affidavit the court had asked me to write about my former partner. On the surface, it seemed simple: write the truth, write the facts. But inside, something in me resisted. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Light Beneath Layers, a journey of knowing thyself. This story comes from that winter day when avoidance turned into revelation. My coach asked gently, "Why are you avoiding writing this affidavit?" I began to list reasons. I did not want to write about his flaws, his unpaid taxes, his poor credit history, his hoarding, his greed. I felt as if I was being pulled into a game of tit for tat, forced to expose his mess when I had long chosen to move beyond it. The truth was clear. He had lost his house not because of me, but because of his own choices and patterns. Yet, putting it on paper felt like blame, like reopening a door I had already closed. By then, I had forgiven him completely, or so I thought. But when I checked with my pendulum, the answer shocked me. I had forgiven him, forgiven everyone, but not myself. That realization shook me to my core. What was I holding against myself? Where was I still carrying the wound? The conversation shifted, as it often did with my coach, into something deeper than I expected. I saw clearly I had betrayed myself, not once but many times. My heart had whispered, my soul had screamed, "Leave, move on, let go." And yet I kept returning to him again and again, ignoring my own truth. Every time he came back, I allowed myself to be pulled in. Even when I knew the relationship was no longer the same, I silenced the voice within and followed the old pattern of my mind. And when he finally broke up with me, blaming the seasons of change within me, blaming the distance that had quietly grown between us, it pierced a wound that had nothing to do with him and everything to do with me. The wound of rejection. Rejection was the trigger that made me chase him, not love. It was the wounded teenage girl inside me who could not bear to be left behind. So I dishonored myself, disrespected myself, even begged, pulled, clung, doing whatever it took to keep him. It was not love. It was survival against the terror of being unwanted. When I saw this truth, I wept like a child in front of my coach, not because of what he did, but because of what I did to myself. I had turned away from my own soul. I had chosen him over me again and again. And that day something shifted. I forgave myself. I forgave the younger version of me who did not know better, who thought rejection was death, who could not yet see her worth. I held her close in my heart and whispered, "You were doing the best you could, and now you are free." Yes, I eventually rejected him 2 years later. I giggled when I told my coach that. But the true victory was not rejecting him. It was finally choosing me. That choice became the doorway into a deeper healing journey, one that truly began in 2020 when I hired this new coach and committed to seeing myself clearly. The lesson of that day lives in me still. Forgiveness is not complete until you forgive yourself. And often the deepest wounds are not from what others did to us, but from how we abandoned our own soul. So if you are listening and carrying a weight of self-blame, hear me. You can lay it down. You can forgive yourself for what you did not know, for the ways you betrayed yourself just to be loved, just to belong. That forgiveness is freedom, because you are not just healing the past, you are reclaiming the sacred relationship with your own soul. And once you choose yourself, you will never lose yourself again. And beautiful souls, I upload new healing stories every Monday to Thursday. Come back tomorrow and let us heal together, one story at a time.